Hey everyone, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This week is week 3 in our 4-part must-do Disney series. And this week we are traveling over to Hollywood Studios. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so jumping into Hollywood Studios. I will say Hollywood Studios is very close second, if not tied for first, as far as my favorite parks at Walt Disney World go. Something about this park, I just love going to this park, hanging out at this park, spending my day at this park. So, a little bit longer must-do list here than the 2 we've done so far. So, let's jump right into my must-do Disney's Hollywood Studio rides. So top of the list, number 1 must-do ride when I go to Hollywood Studios is Rock and Roller Coaster. This might be my favorite roller coaster in all of Walt Disney World. I love the pre-show that you get to see. I love the super fast takeoff. The music is great. The bright colors that you see on the ride are super fun and super cool. Overall, a great roller coaster. One I will definitely be riding when I go. Hopefully a single rider line is open there, so that helps the line be a little bit shorter, as the wait times for this ride can get fairly long. And it's typically not the fastest moving line, but definitely one I would suggest waiting for. Definitely one I will wait for. Or definitely one I will try to snag a Genie Plus Lightning Lane pass for some point in the day. The other ride right there next to Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, not on my must-do list, not a ride for me. I will confess I have never ridden that ride. I'm not a fan of the free-falling drop rides, so that is why I have not ridden Tower of Terror. Now, maybe this trip I will get brave and give it a shot so I can say I've ridden it, because it is one of the very few rides at Walt Disney World I have not yet been on. But based on how people talk about it and based on what I know about the ride, does not really seem like something I would enjoy. So not one I have ridden, and therefore not one that I've put on my Hollywood Studios must-do list. Now, the ride that is currently in the Chinese Theater, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, definitely on my must-do list. I've only ridden it once, but it is super fun and great ride for kids. The track, it's a trackless ride. It's powered by magnets under the floor somehow, so that is a really cool feeling and a really cool sensation. Lots of bright, fun scenes to look at, fun music to listen to, and it's your classic Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, Goofy, Pluto characters that everyone knows and loves. So definitely a ride that I will be riding, definitely one I would wait for, because again, this one can get a fairly long line. But definitely one I would suggest waiting for, or again, going for that Genie Plus Lightning Lane reservation if you are able to snag one of those. Now, moving over into Toy Story Land. Of the 3 rides back in Toy Story Land, 2 of them are on my must-do list. First being Toy Story Midway Mania. That is such a super fun ride, super competitive ride if you're a competitive person. Great ride for you. It's similar to Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin in Magic Kingdom in that you're shooting at targets. The way in which you shoot at the targets is a little bit different on Toy Story Mania. Rather than pushing a button, you pull the string. But that makes it a lot of fun, makes it feel more like a carnival game, which is the intent and purpose of the ride. Always a super fun one. One I will do probably twice if I'm able to, if not more. One definitely I would wait for. Definitely one I'm going to go for a Genie Plus reservation for. Love that ride and would suggest it to anyone going to Walt Disney World. The other ride over in Toy Story Land that I have put on my must-do list is right across the way from Toy Story Mania, and that is Slinky Dog Dash. That is the roller coaster located in Toy Story Land. The ride vehicle looks like Slinky Dog, so it's really cute. You pass by Jessie and Rex and Wheezy while you are on the ride. It is a launch coaster, so it shoots you off at the beginning, but it does not go super duper fast. Nothing at all compared to Rock 'n' Roller Coaster. So definitely a kid-friendly ride, and a super fun roller coaster. For this one, I will say the line gets pretty backed up, and is not the fastest moving line. So I would suggest either heading straight there first thing in the morning, getting one of those Genie Plus Lightning Lane reservations, or waiting until closer to park close and hopping in the line then, because typically the posted wait time is not the real wait time at that point in the day, and as long as you are in line before the park closes, you will get on the ride. But Slinky Dog Dash, super fun roller coaster, great roller coaster for kids, so one I definitely have on my must-do list. Now, sneaking in the back way over into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, heading over to Batuu. Two rides found over there. First, you have Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I have that one on my must-do list. It is a super fun ride. Basically, like you are driving the Millennium Falcon. There are, I believe, 6 or 8 different seats in the ride, so different jobs that each person has. Basically, in order to complete your task, you press the buttons as they light up. When you're the pilot, you get to send us into hyperdrive. But super fun ride, super cool experience. And the queue for that ride is a super fun, super immersive queue. You really feel like you've entered the Falcon and truly are getting ready to drive it into outer space. And then the other ride located over in Galaxy's Edge, Rise of the Resistance. There are not enough good things that I can say about that ride. And it's not just a ride, it is a full experience. I think from the time that the experience starts to the time you get off of your ride vehicle is about 18 minutes, which is a crazy long time for a ride. But it is so immersive and so unlike anything else that Walt Disney World offers. It's just super incredible. I can't recommend it enough. Now that the virtual queue is gone, the lines definitely for that get super long and super backed up. Unfortunately, it also breaks down and closes a lot throughout the day. So if you are thinking about riding that one, and you have purchased Genie Plus, definitely hop on that right at 7 a.m. so you can purchase those Lightning Lane reservations, or head straight there first thing when you get to the park in the morning, and hope you can catch it before the line gets up to the 2 and 3 hour marks, because that is definitely possible. But Rise of the Resistance is definitely something I highly recommend. Even if you are not the biggest Star Wars fan, the ride and the experience of the whole thing are so absolutely incredible and nothing like I've ever experienced before that I would suggest it for you too. And for those people that are big Star Wars fans, you are definitely going to be mind blown by this super awesome, fantastic ride experience that Walt Disney World has created. And then heading out of Batuu, out of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, those are really all of the rides I have on my must-do list, and there really aren't too many other rides left in the park. The only ones I have really omitted from my must-do list are Alien Swirling Saucers over in Toy Story Land, Tower of Terror, because, like I said, not the kind of ride I enjoy. And then there is one more Star Wars ride located outside of Galaxy's Edge. And it's meant to feel like you're flying on the different ships and everything. But for me personally, at this point, it feels really old and really rickety. I always end up with a headache when I come off of that ride. So not one I have on my must-do list. Probably not one I will even ride even once, just because I simply don't enjoy it. So with all that being said, now I'm going to jump right into what I have on my must-do food list at Hollywood Studios. So starting first with the quick service restaurant that I have on my must-do list, that would be Woody's Lunchbox, located over in Toy Story Land. The thing I always enjoy getting are the tachos. They are super duper duper delicious. One of the better quick service meals, in my opinion, that you find on Disney property. Basically what it is tater tots topped with chili and cheese and sour cream and Fritos. Might sound a little bit crazy, different textures and flavors and everything, but it is super delicious and definitely what I always end up eating for lunch when I am at Hollywood Studios. And then that is really the only quick service I have on my list at Hollywood Studios, just because that's the one I love the most. That's the one you're always going to find me at, and I'm not going to stray away from it. So that's the one I definitely would recommend to you as far as quick service. And I do have two table service restaurants on my must-do list for Hollywood Studios. Number one would be the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. It's more on my must-do list for the experience rather than the food. The food's not bad by any means. It's average, mediocre American food, burgers, salads, chicken fingers, you know, basic food like that. But the premise of the restaurant is like you've gone back to the 50s and you sit in, your table looks like an old convertible car. They have a big giant movie screen playing old clips from different movies from the 50s and 60s. And so just a super cool dining experience overall. So one I would definitely suggest if you've never been before. And then the other one that is probably my family and I's favorite table service restaurant, probably in all of Walt Disney World property, is the 50s Primetime Cafe. That restaurant is located up towards the front of the park, over by Echo Lake, by where Gertie lives, near the Indiana Jones show. And again, the food is good for what you're paying for. I always go for the fried chicken. It is really good. I know my parents have gotten the meatloaf before and have liked it. So again, good food options, but the experience at this restaurant is so much fun. Basically, again, 50s, you've transported back to the 50s. The waiters and waitresses and host and hostess act like your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, whatever. They will introduce themselves when they walk up to your table as whatever they are pretending to be for you. And then they mess with you the whole meal. Good, lighthearted fun. Nothing meant to be taken bad. Always a super fun time. We went one time and our waiter was named Cooper. He was Cousin Cooper. My little brother was acting up and not eating his vegetables, so Cousin Cooper drug him in his chair to the other room and left him there and said, "Little boy, for free to take." So, you know, just silly things like that they do, but really makes the experience super fun, and definitely one we go to pretty much every single time that we go to Hollywood Studios. Now, that is all I have in the way of food. I will be trying a new table service restaurant when I go in April, Mama Melrose. Never eaten there before, so wanted to try somewhere new and see if it was something worth having on a must-do list or not. So I will be filming that experience and letting you know what I personally think about it and if it will be added to my must-do list or not for the future. And then the last category, moving into must-do entertainment at Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is definitely the park to go to if you like to watch shows and things of that nature. This is the park for you. That is the whole idea of Hollywood Studios, is that you are in Hollywood, you are on these movie sets and all of those fun things. So the first entertainment I would put on my Hollywood Studios must-do list is Beauty and the Beast. It's found down near Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. It is a stage show that happens periodically throughout the day. It is thankfully and finally back after COVID. So looking forward to going and seeing that while I'm there on my trip. Pretty much they do the movie in a play form, but condense it down to probably about 20 or 25 minutes or so. So nothing too long, not to the point where you're going to get bored and wish it was over. But definitely I enjoy going to see that one. Indiana Jones, not a bad show. I'm just not a big enough fan of that movie to want to use my time to go see that. But Indiana Jones is an option if you are there and that is something you enjoy. But located near Indiana Jones is the Frozen sing-along show. And for some reason, I just really love going to see that show. They have two people who kind of narrate the story of Anna and Elsa, but they are always super funny, super into their jobs, and super into what they are doing. And then someone special makes an appearance at the end, and some Disney magic happens, and to see the look on little kids' faces when it happens, it just makes that show even better than it already is. So again, one that happens periodically throughout the day, and one that I would definitely go see while I am there. Another must-do entertainment on my Hollywood Studios list is Muppet Vision 3D. I know this show is kind of old and maybe a little outdated, a little cheesy, of course, but I always enjoy going to see this show. Again, it's one of those, in my opinion, Hollywood Studios classics that I'm always going to go see at least once on my trip. There's never a wait. The only wait is waiting for the show to start. It's not like you have to wait in a line for that one. But definitely a super cute, super fun Muppets show. Fun fact, when you first walk in the entrance, if you look straight to your right, there will be a doormat on the floor that says "Key left under mat." Next time you are there, I suggest lifting up that mat. You should definitely lift up that mat. Something cool is under that mat. I think it's cool. It might not be cool to other people, but the small Disney details that just make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. And then my last Hollywood Studios entertainment is the grand and miraculous nighttime show that is Fantasmic. Fantasmic is by far my most favorite Disney nighttime show that they offer. Just something about that show that I love. The end when Mickey is Sorcerer Mickey at the top of the mountain, and then down at the bottom of the mountain is regular Mickey in a matter of seconds, is like, that is Disney magic. That is what I love about that show. Seeing the boat with all the characters is so much fun. Unfortunately, it is still not back yet from COVID, and they are adding some new scenes. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping every single day that it will be back up and running by the time I go, but not holding my breath because I I know the possibility of that is super slim, seeing as we haven't had an announcement yet that it is coming back. But we will see. I have not lost hope yet. I will not lose hope until I am in Hollywood Studios on that day, and I do not see it on the daily show times. If it is up and running, you better believe I'm going to be one of the first ones in line to get that great front row seat to see these new scenes that they have added, and to welcome back those fantastic performers. But for right now, it is not back. So we will just have to see how that goes. And know that if it's not back by the time there, it is coming back very, very soon. We know that at the least. Now, that is all I have on my must-do list at Hollywood Studios. And you might be asking yourself, it did seem super long. Why is it one of your favorite parks? Like I said, I'm not sure what it is about that park, but it is one of the parks that I just love going and sitting on a bench and just enjoying my day, even if I'm not doing anything but sitting. I really love Toy Story the movies, so that's part of it. The Galaxy's Edge is such a cool new addition to the park to walk around and experience. And yeah, something about that park that I really love. Love spending my time there, love spending my day there. So, I know some people go in and finish this park really quickly, maybe see it as a half-day park. For me, I spend all day there, because I just take my time walking down the streets and taking it all in. But as far as my must-do list for that park, that is all I have for you this week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like always, and turn on that bell, because next week will be our last week of our 4-part Walt Disney World must-do series. So we will be heading over to my ultimate #1 favorite Walt Disney World theme park, which is Magic Kingdom. You are not going to want to miss that. Definitely have a lot more on my must-do list over there in terms of rides. So stay tuned for that, because it will be a lot of fun. Leave a comment down below of what your Hollywood Studios must-dos are. If they're the same as mine, if you have different ones that I don't put on my must-do list, let me know down below. Again, continue to share this video. It is super helpful when you share this with new people, and we can start to gain a bigger following and share some Disney news and Disney information with others. Make sure you head over to Instagram and follow me there at Opal's Disney Corner. I post stuff there, and we'll be posting a lot of stuff there daily when I am on my trip, so you are not going to want to miss that. So make sure you head over there and follow that. And with all of that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week on The Quarter. Peace.